Hello, good afternoon. It is Tuesday, September 14, and it is day 2 of Rise and Shine free workshop. My name is Lisa. I want to introduce myself just in case you don't know who I am. I am a healthy lifestyle coach, and I'm a stay-at-home mom to a toddler. I was never a morning person, and I've recently just been able to transition to waking up an hour and a half earlier than everyone else in the house so that I can do the priority things that needed to be done and do things that I need to do for myself before I start serving everyone else. So I want to help you do the same as well, no matter what time it is that you wake up. When I first started developing a morning routine after having my baby, I had a very, very difficult time waking up. I would go to bed, set 5 alarms beginning at 7 a.m., and I would somehow manage to turn off all 20 of them and wake up at 9:30 a.m. And like I mentioned yesterday, I was already setting myself up for a miserable day. So I always wondered, why is it that I can't seem to get up in the morning? I would go to bed at a fairly early time, or so I thought, earlier than what I'm used to at least, but still see no success with it. So I started reading books that talked about early morning routines and did tons and tons of research on how to wake up early, and then it clicked. If I counted back from 7 a.m., which is the time I wanted to get up, to the time that I actually fell asleep, it would only be 5 hours. And that was not enough sleep for me. So I reverse engineered it. I started to create an evening routine that would end at a specific time and start at a specific time that I needed it to be so that I can get to bed on time. And then it happened. I started waking up early, going from 9:30 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. Now, it didn't happen overnight, of course, okay? It happened over a course of a year, but it's still going strong till this day. I've been in that position of discouragement where you just can't seem to accomplish an early wake up time and just feel so unproductive every day. I'm so familiar with that feeling where you just want to get things done and you just want to work out maybe, but you need to get up earlier to be able to do so. So if this is you, please let me help you. Yesterday, we talked about why you should create a solid early morning routine. Ditch the chaos and regain control, gain the early bird advantage and avoid night owl disadvantages, and how you can elevate your life and live longer and happier. So if you missed that video, you can take a look at the email that was sent today. It is attached in the email as well for you. So today's going to be all about how a successful morning routine actually starts the evening before. The reason your evening impacts your morning, my top tips to make sure that you're ready in the evening for your morning, and how to make the transition to earlier mornings easier. One of the biggest misconceptions that I hear from a lot of people is that they can never get to bed on time. I'm so guilty of thinking this way before, hence my little story earlier. So do not feel bad if this is you. There are a lot of things to do, and time is not on our side most of the days, right? But the truth is you can get to bed on time. It just requires a little bit more priority management. You have to be willing to prioritize things and then sacrifice those that don't really serve you and put off till later the things that you can actually put off till later. From experience, telling yourself that I don't have time, or there's not enough time, or I can never get to bed on time are stories that you might be telling yourself that is keeping you from doing exactly what you need to do. You've probably told yourself this over and over and over again enough times for you to believe that you actually cannot get to bed on time, or there's not enough hours in the day, et cetera, et cetera. That is all too familiar to me. It's probably become a default pattern of thinking for you. So in order to break this pattern, we need to, first of all, flip the script on what we tell ourselves. We can switch to thinking that there is enough time, or you can think that there is time for this later. We need to prioritize what's actually most important in the beginning of the night so that when your alarm goes off to head to bed, the other stuff can wait until tomorrow. I know that this is easier said than done, but just like anything else, we need to practice this every day to be able to actually master it. And once you've seen what's possible, and once you've seen that you can actually get to bed, it becomes easier and easier to do it because you got through the first barrier. which is actually believing that you can prioritize your time, actually believing that you can get to bed on time. I believe that there is a time and place for everything too, for the things that you want to do, where binge watching shows is a good thing when you need a break, or other things that you want to do, social media scroll maybe. But if you don't have the time for it and you end up sacrificing your sleep, maybe it can be brought down a little bit, brought down a notch. I don't know. It could be other things like shopping, for example, or doing research on things. Evaluate where your time is going and prioritize that, or prioritize them accordingly. So what we do in the evening truly does set the tone for the morning. And what we do in the morning sets the tone for the rest of our day. It is a cycle. A lot of people think that a morning routine stands on its own, and this is why they don't see success with it. It begins with the time that you actually get ready for bed. Are you giving yourself enough time to get ready for bed and prepare for tomorrow? Maybe you want to wake up to a clean kitchen in the morning. I mean, who doesn't want to wake up to a clean kitchen, right? How will it feel to be able to wake up to a fresh start? What time do you need to begin doing those tasks in order to complete them in time so that you can get to bed? Think about those things when you are crafting your evening and your morning routine. I've always had an evening routine for as far as I can remember. I would, take a shower, brush my teeth, etc., etc. But I was never really mindful of time. I would just go to bed whenever I felt sleepy, because I thought that if I woke up earlier, then I'd feel sleepy earlier, and then I would get to bed earlier. But there was always something to do. I realized this when I got married and started living with my husband, and my mom wasn't around to do the dishes or do the cleanup for me. And then when I became a mom, all the more so, time became so much more precious to me. I was so tired of being such a hot mess all the time, the house being a wreck all the time. I needed to do something. So when I started going to bed on time to be able to allow myself at least 7 hours of sleep and wake up earlier, I started to feel more productive. And by being more productive and getting my workout done first thing in the morning, and then getting things done around the house, I was able to make our home cleaner, more of a sanctuary for our family than it ever was. I was able to cook and then prepare simple meals. And I mean, was it perfect? No, I don't think I've ever had a perfect day before. We all have our days, right? I still don't have an Instagram worthy house all the time, but it's better. And just that simple step, that baby step, made such a huge difference for us already. Once you create a solid evening routine that works alongside your morning routine, you will find that it's so much easier to wake up in the morning because you already have what you need as soon as you open your eyes. We're going to talk more later on this week about how to frame your evening routine to set you up for success in the morning. But when you don't have to deal with the resistance of not being able to wake up in the morning before your responsibilities begin, you may just find that you're more relaxed and that you can actually accomplish more, even just for a few minutes more here and there. I'm not promising a perfect life and a perfect day with evening and morning routines. That doesn't exist, but you may just find that this can make it a little bit easier for you. So if these are the only two things that you can accomplish for the day, your morning and evening routine, at least you know that you've done your best and you've done what you needed to do to make things run smoothly, where things don't fall through the cracks all the time. So I've talked enough about why an evening routine is vital for your morning routine. One of them being that you need to go to bed on time to get enough rest for your body to actually feel well rested in the morning. But I didn't talk about what you need to do for your evening routine to set yourself up for the least amount of resistance when it's time to implement your morning routine. And by resistance, I mean making it easier for you in the morning, which we will get more into in day 5. So let's say you want to get your workout in before your kids wake up, or maybe before work because you have to go to work in the morning. That probably means that you need to lay your workout clothes and shoes the night before so that when you freshen up for the morning, you're ready to actually change into them. You can put it beside your bed. You can put it in the bathroom counter so that it's there for you when you need it. Then that makes it easier for you to go for a jog or press play on your workout within the first hour of the morning, if that's what you want to do. Because if you still have to go looking for your workout clothes when you're half asleep and you can't find your shoes, you don't have any clean socks or anything like that, it's easier to just say no. It's easier to say, I don't want to do this. I'm going back to bed, right? This is just one of the examples of how your evening routine can impact your morning routine. There are endless ways for you to be able to make it easier in the morning. You just have to start with your morning routine, reverse engineer, and see what you can do in the evenings. So think about what you need to prioritize doing in the evening as well, so that you can start fresh and be ready for the morning. I also have a list of my morning routine that's stuck in my fridge door. So that when I wake up and I have washed my face and I'm grabbing my glass of water, I know exactly what goes next. I'm reading it as I drink my water. So that gives my brain the signal to fire up. As soon as I see it, it gives it some time to actually fire up and then execute the next task instead of standing around all sleepy thinking about what to do next. I know that I do the same thing every single morning, but sometimes when you are half asleep, you still don't know what to do next. It's things like that that will make it easier for you to maximize your time in the morning, which will also make you feel more accomplished, which translates to how you frame your mind for the rest of the day. So aside from what I had already mentioned, there are so many ways that we can prime our evening to get set up for our morning routine. I've just given you a few examples, but other examples would include things like prepare to sleep in a cool, dark room. We talked about how our bodies produce melatonin in the dark to make us sleepy. If there's light coming into your room or your partner needs the light on, you can try wearing a sleeping mask, for example, or I don't know, a blanket. I need this because my husband and I have different bedtime schedules. So we had to figure out a way to be able to, for me to be able to sleep early and him to be able to do the things that he needs to do. Also, we are more likely to get a good rest when it's cool rather than when it's not, right? I love getting under my thick blanket at the end of the night when it's nice and cool in the room, but when it is hot, I can't sleep. You can also set an intention before bed. So identifying one thing that you want to accomplish the next day that you're actually looking forward to. Maybe you're looking forward to reading a new book. Maybe you want to do your devotions. Maybe you want to just set an intention to complete an extra page of the book that you're reading for your morning routine. Or you want to listen to a podcast while you are doing your makeup or something that you want to do. Think about that. You can also set an intention of what time you are going to wake up. Like actually tell yourself and keep telling yourself over and over again that you're going to wake up at a specific time. Talk to yourself. There's nothing crazy about talking to yourself. We do it all the time anyways without even knowing it. Another example is if you have smart lights. You can also set your smart lights if you have them in your room to turn on at a specific time. Although that would probably make me very mad. I know of some people who actually do this trick and they have seen so much success with it. So if you have smart lights, you can go ahead and give that a try. You can also get one of those sunlight alarm clocks that mimics the sunrise. I think Philips is a good brand. Philips has one as well. It slowly gets brighter 30 minutes before you are supposed to wake up, and then it slowly gets darker 30 minutes before you go to bed. So it kind of signals your body that it's either time to go to bed or it's time to wake up. I've tried time and time again to wake up earlier, but I find that sometimes I just fall back asleep on the couch while reading a book. So you may also find that it's difficult for you to focus or to have energy in the mornings or to work out in the mornings, even though you are up early. And it happens. Okay, your body is adjusting to a completely different clock, kind of like daylight savings time, right? You have this temporary fatigue that you're feeling from the clocks changing. But the good news is that it's temporary and there are ways that we can actually make this transition easier for you. Some things that I have tried and other people have tried as well is to start small. So we talked yesterday about starting from where you are and then moving in small increments of time each week. It was 15 minutes for me. Right now, because we just got back from vacation, I am adjusting 15 minutes back every day, but that's because I already have that wake up time established before that my body is used to. Do what's manageable for you. It doesn't have to be a week. It could be a month if you want it to be. It could be every 2 days. Just start with a 15-minute increment and then see how you feel after a week maybe of consistently doing it. And if you want to increase it, then increase it. If you want to decrease, then decrease. Just go with the flow. And then drinking a pre-workout. Drinking a pre-workout was the easiest thing for me because it was so easy to just fill up your cup with water, grab a scoop, and then shake it up. I was gonna do my, I do my workout soon after I wake up anyways. This would wake me up. I would be fired up and ready to go to do my workout by 7 a.m. It is delicious. It is great. So if you have a pre-workout, you can do that as well. You can also make your caffeine drink the night before. I would make my matcha drink the night before. So my matcha drink is blended. I like it that way. So what I would do is I would make a batch the night before that's good for about 2 to 3 days. And all I'd have to do in the morning is take it out, pour it over ice, and it is delicious. It made my mornings so much better. And we are living studio style right now. So I wouldn't have to wake up my poor husband with all the noise in the kitchen for making my drink. So if you want to make the recipe as well, please let me know and I can share that with you. Another trick that I have heard people do is set up the coffee pot on a timer if you drink coffee, that is, or have the coffee grinds ready to go at least and the water in the machine. So all you have to do is just press the button when you wake up, and then by the time that you're done freshening up, coffee's ready for you. This will also make it a lot easier instead of having to measure your coffee and then fill up the water in the morning and yada, yada, yada. So my challenge for you today is to find one thing that you can add to your evenings before bed that will help you be well rested in the morning. Or you can also find one thing that you can do that will help your mornings a lot easier. It could be something like journaling before bed if you feel that you've got a lot of thoughts in your head before you go to sleep. Maybe listening to soft music. Do you need to lay out your clothes? Feel free to send it to me. I would love to know what you guys are adding to your evening routines this week. Also, be sure to tune in tomorrow. If you struggle with getting out of bed because you are a chronic snoozer, you will 100% want to watch tomorrow's video. We're going to talk about 5 tips to avoid the snooze trap, why it starts with intention, what to try if you are stuck in the snooze loop, and how to trick your brain into getting up. So that is all for today. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I hope you have an amazing evening. I will see you soon. Bye.